Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to have videos. Another paid request, this time from PsychoHobo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. Doing my best. But he wanted me to do a commentary first watch on something called The Worlds of Philip K. Dick, which is a 56-minute documentary on the guy. Of course, Philip K. Dick, whose stories were the basis for films like Blade Runner and Minority Report, among many other films. So I'll try to have the link down below. I think this was on YouTube. I say I think because I downloaded it just in case it disappeared. But for those who want to follow along, feel free. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Okay, we have a bunch of weird... Oh, SBS Arts. Okay, that's the... This company made this. I would say very rare for me to see footage of Philip K. Dick, and that was from 1977. Oh, he died in 1982. Okay. Free to say everything or nothing. Well, guess that's true, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, Blade Runner, Minority, Minority, Minority Report. Yeah, Total Recall, of course. Philip K. Dick's biographer. All right. Hmm. Sorry if you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm listening to interview Philip K. Dick had. We just hear his voice. Hmm. Written on pulp. It was written on pulp paper. That's why it's called pulp science fiction. Makes sense. Makes sense. Once I was very young, I came across a magazine directly below the comic books called Stirring Science Stories. I bought it. Married when he was 19? Holy shit. Married when he was 19. Damn. All this stuff you felt, was it chemically induced? I mean, you never know. Hmm. Martian time slip. I've never heard of that. Never heard of this one. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, hey, I don't blame you, man. None of us been sued by a door. Might get sued by a person who acts like a door, wooden as fuck, but never been sued by a door. Martian time slip. On an arid Mars, local bigwigs compete with earthbound interlopers to buy up land before the UN develops it and its value skyrockets. Martian Union leader has an ace up his sleeve, an autistic boy named Manfred who seems to have the ability to see the future. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. What movie is this? If you say so, buddy. How all certainties stand upon sand. In other words, he wanted to look at the population and see how the population reacted to whatever environment I placed them in. Which, I mean, even, yeah, you look at all the people in Blade Runner and how the citizens react to the world. That's become the norm. The mutants and how they interact with each other on the norm and Total Recall, all that stuff. There's a ton about movies loosely based on it, so to be fair. Especially Total Recall, a lot of that was changed from novel to movie. Retreat Syndrome, 1965. Don't know what to say. Kind of just listen, just sort of his philosophies, kind of people you write about. I like that he said, I'm going to keep this PG rated, and then a PG popped up in the corner. Sorry, I don't have much to say so far. There's just not really much to talk about. Just pretty much talk about how isolated he made himself be. Making an outcast out of himself. Although the way the world is today, I think a lot of us would rather do that. Just stay inside in our homes. Which would be much more capable for him nowadays compared to back then. For a split second, I thought this guy was Steen, the singer. And yeah, the singer, not the wrestler Steen. Hmm. 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 Some of that was confusing because even he didn't know where he was going. That's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, creepy ass Barbie dolls. They would step into VR where there would be dolls or play as dolls. Hmm. Just in a way, kind of like Ready Player One and all this other stuff, where you. I just think about it. That's what we do. What people do with online. Online, you go or video games. You take time to play as an artificial doll of some sort, where you could go on an adventure or shoot or do anything of that nature. Prescribed amphetamines? God damn. What fucking doctor would describe. Doctors back then. I guess only they could prescribe amphetamines. Didn't think doctors prescribe amphetamines to people. Philip K. Dick's latest spouse. He was 43 and she was 18. Barely legal, I guess. Jesus. I mean, it's still legal. Barely legal, but still legal. Hmm. He never wanted to leave his house, worked as typewriter like most people would write at their computer. Yeah, that is a real thing. That where Coast Guard, like, you may very well have to hit the person or punch someone if you're trying to save them in the water, because if you don't, they could fucking drown you. They could drown you along with themselves. Hmm. Jesus, I don't know if I'd be telling a 4-year-old. Not sure about telling a 4-year-old how the fuck it is to fight or World War One. Jesus Christ. Hmm. 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 So you had a twin sister, okay. Hmm. 1920. Wow. So his twin sister lived for like what was it, a month? December 1928 to January 1929. Hmm. Like I said, this isn't really a biography, kind of step by step from he did this novel, then he did this novel. This is more about kind of. I don't want to say it seems like it's going all over the place, but like, did it say how he got divorced the first time? And how he got with this girl? His latest, the 18-year-old? Hmm. I don't know, did they mention how, was it divorce or something else? So now it's about how, talks about his twin sister, and maybe a lot of times he writes these dark haired women as if to try to put his sister into his novels and stories. So this guy is a psychotherapist. His mom was a commie? Okay. We're living in a computer program reality. Mm. So I'm just it's a very dialogue heavy documentary, so I'm trying to listen to it all. That's why it's kind of hard to do commentaries on this because I've never seen it before. I'm trying to listen. Mm. What the hell is this like visually that I'm seeing? That guy made a robot version of himself. Professor Hiroshi Ishiguro Intelligent Robotics Lab. Okay. Hmm. Is it empathy that makes us human? Androids have more souls than some of the humans. Yeah. Which is the big point of Blade Runner. Yeah. Roger Howard saves Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford was willing to shoot one in the back while she was running away, but yet Roger Howard was able to save and lift up. Ah, Roger Howard. Rest in peace to Roger Howard, man. Nice to see Roger Howard in there. Love Roger Howard. Miss the guy. Such a great, talented actor. And so much stuff from, yeah, Blade Runner. That monologue he gives at the end. Fantastic monologue. Just a fantastic monologue from Tears in Rain. So yeah, Roger Hauer. I was looking up some stuff. Sorry, I'm still playing the documentary, but I want to look something up. Rutger Hauer wrote that Tears in the Rain speech. I wanted to confirm because I thought that was the case, but yeah, Rutger Hauer wrote that beautiful speech, Tears in the Rain. Does it guess Ridley Scott wasn't doing the best on that film? There was a lot of conflict. He's about ready to get fired, and he was called to the trailer. Rutger Hauer say, "Hey, I wrote something." He said, "Oh God, I'm going to get fired, okay, or whatever. What, Rutger? What?" So he said that speech. And it's like, holy shit. Yeah, okay, let's do it. And it became beautiful. One of the best parts of that movie, Tears and Rain. Beautiful monologue. But yeah, Rudyard Hauer, I mean, The Hitcher, Split Second, Wanted Dead or Alive, Blind Fury, Nighthawks. Just a great actor, man. May he rest in peace. Sorry, I'm talking about Roger Hauer when it's about Philip K. Dick, but yeah, really miss that actor. Science fiction should have been called speculative history. Eh, I don't know. Science fiction has a better ring to it. Science fiction flows off the tongue a bit better than speculative history. The Man in the High Castle. It's just a what if. It's funny how they're showing a Disney parade. This is a story about Nazis, what the Nazis in Japan took over and won, and now showing Disney. There's a lot of things that could be said in that in connection. Whether how Disney's taking over the entertainment, just like Hitler wanted to take over the world. How different types of evil they are in different ways and fashion. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, things you think things are bad nowadays. They back then, Vietnam and all of the protests in the streets, more and more and more so. I mean, to say I'm not going to pay taxes until our soldiers come back, I can understand. Granted, I'm sure the higher ups are going to be like, fuck you, buddy, you're still paying, you're going to jail. But I don't think that was going to change the government's policy and what the hell they wanted to do because you don't pay taxes, but guess what more could he do as a writer? Well, I mean, I don't blame him. I don't trust the government either. I don't think many people trust the government, especially nowadays. No damn reason to trust the government. At least no good reason. Because they're all full of shit. Agreed. Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean you're not trying to dip me. Yeah. Oh yeah, Standard Darkly. I forgot. That is. But I mean, he even says, I don't know what suppose I was crusading against, so the question is, so why is the government giving that much of a shit about me? A cipher? What? Cipher for what? Aliens? What is this? Explorers? He's getting messages from space? Ah, Standard Darkly. Some, yeah. Showing some pictures. Well, nowadays with the case of the internet, yeah, I mean, all your information is available that they can find you and. Hmm. So the lie and the lie of that is interesting. Just in a way that was kind of silent running. I don't know. Logan's Run. I mean, Logan's Run. Well, not so much that lie, but like you can't go out. It's unsafe out there. But then, if you actually did go out there, it's actually not that bad. If you want, I'm looking down. I'm just listening to the dialogue. There's a lot of it's readings from his excerpts from his stories being read. Mm. So now I was going to Minority Report. Yeah, I mean, Minority Report's not a bad movie. But that gets into the thing like, how much free will do we have if you don't arrest me? Predictive policing. Never heard of the predictive policing. Never heard of that. Huh. I don't know. I've never heard this before. Predictive policing. Never heard that term. Hmm. I don't know why I've never heard that before. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, if you look at his stories, there's definitely stuff that seems like stuff you would see come to fruition later on. Hmm. Damn, there's only 7 minutes left. Well, hell, you look at the world of today, make anybody crazy. Let's be honest. Not just him crazy. Make everybody crazy. Mm. Hmm. I mean, we're getting to the end of this. We're like 3 minutes left. I wasn't a fan of this as we're getting to a close because I didn't really get a sense of his life, like chronologically. It just seemed like kind of was these random excerpts coming out where, oh, we're going to mention this book, and then here's some of his ideas, and so that's how he was found. Hmm. Maybe this is a guy that kind of succumbed to his own eccentric fantasies and was stubborn. Yeah, but why don't he just use his left hand and just write carefully? I mean, okay, his right arm is in a splint. If he really wants to tell you something, here's the left arm. Take your time. I mean, what else do you have but time? Yeah, and I didn't really get much out of this, honestly. It kind of just seemed. The other one about H.P. Lovecraft, that one seemed it was a bit more focused. It was a bit more chronological, and here's what the story, here's what the plot of the story was. Here's some of the meanings behind the story. Then we're on to the next one. Then this is what happened to his wife before. Like, I don't know what happened to his wife, first off, and his kids, and how did he meet this 18-year-old girl, and how did that all come about? What happened to his wife and kids before, and some of the plots of these stories I don't know. Um, we didn't even really mention Total Recall and the story that's based on. We can remember for you wholesale. That story wasn't really brought up in a many amount of depth. So I don't know. This one I thought was a bit of a bust. I didn't really get much out of it, honestly. Some interesting excerpts of his stories, but Yeah, other than that, interesting to hear the guy's voice. Nice to have Rutger Hauer there. But nice to hear Philip K. Dick, like to see footage of him, and nice to hear his voice. But I just we tell a little bit of Blade Runner and robotics and him wanting to live by himself. Well, no, he didn't want to leave the house, which, I mean, can I blame him? Nowadays, nobody wants to, including me. Protesting the war, him being paranoid, him going to Canada. Probably that thing about the predictive policing, what it was called. That's probably the one thing I take away of the most interest. But other than that, it was what it was. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.